if you stand in such a way that your chest sinks and your shoulders round, then there's pressure on your diaphragm. Your breathing is obstructed. We need food to sustain ourselves. We need water to sustain ourselves. But fundamentally, we need air. We need breath to sustain ourselves. So the quality of our breathing is a fundamental component in our physical health, in our mental health, and in our spiritual well-being. There is hardly, I can't think of a spiritual tradition that does not incorporate breath in some way, shape, or form, consciously or peripherally. So alignment of the body has a really direct and profound effect on the quality of your breathing. If you're sunken in the chest, you have pressure on your diaphragm, the rib cage is collapsed, you don't breathe so well. So how to open the chest, how to create space, how to create support, how to free the diaphragm, how to tone the diaphragm, all of those are alignment issues. And as you work with the alignment, then the quality of your breath changes, and so the whole quality of energy for you changes. Pranayama is the practice of yogic breathing, and that word is comprised of two words, prana. Prana is the life force. It is that cosmic energy which energizes everything in the universe. And ayama is restraint, control, direction. So pranayama is directing the life force, and the vehicle through which we do that is the breath. In the Iyengar approach to pranayama, and it's unique, I think, in this respect, we start by lying down, because it is really difficult to sit, for most people, it is really difficult to sit properly meaning in an upright fashion where the chest is open, and at the same time be comfortable. People can find that space, but they can't breathe usually because they're so tense and trying to just sit up straight and hold their chest open that they actually can't breathe. Sort of counterproductive when you're working on breathing. So we start by lying down to create a air of relaxation, a feeling of softness, of surrender, of receptivity to the breath. Also in lying down, it becomes a little easier through the use of props to align the body, to make the body even, to make the body in a straight line, to balance the two sides of the body, to regulate through that balance the flow of the breath. And of course, another characteristic of the Iyengar approach to yoga is the use of props. Alignment is difficult in the postures, particularly because there are certain weaknesses, certain tight areas. And so the use of props, blocks, straps, chairs, walls, as well as blankets and mats, are there to facilitate the obtainment of proper alignment in the poses. Proper alignment in the poses, or the attempt to achieve that, really points out to you where your strengths and weaknesses are. The body, given a particular form, a particular pose to do, will always find the easiest way to get to approximate that shape. It will avoid the areas of tightness or the areas of weakness because its bodies are into self-preservation and comfort. And so the body is very, very clever that way, and it's going to find a way to avoid the tight area that you have or the weak area that you have. And so the emphasis on alignment sort of forces you to confront those issues of strength or weakness or imbalance in your body that you would otherwise avoid. And the whole question of balancing strength and flexibility is a very important one. A lot of people think of yoga as being primarily flexibility oriented. You see pictures of folks with their feet behind their head or bent over backwards with their head on their feet, things like that. So wow, it's pretzel stuff. And it is that. It's just exploring your own challenge, your own limitations and range of motion and capabilities, and as you keep exploring that, the edges of that expand gradually. So you wind up with things that 5 years earlier you would go, no, humans really can't do that. By focusing on strength as well as flexibility, you bring the body into balance. It isn't just about flexibility. And once flexibility and strength are established, then stamina is developed, the ability to stay. And when you can stay, then you can work on this whole question of alignment and balance in a much more internal and subtle way. If you're just in and out, there's not much time. You can still work on alignment, but alignment, we don't have mirrors at Unity Woods on the walls. And we don't have mirrors because we don't want people to look at the outsides of their bodies and go, this is what the pose is supposed to be. The pose is an internal experience. And while later on, when you know what you're looking for, you can use a mirror or an external device, another person, to give you feedback on the external alignment of your pose. It's really about the internal sensations of the asana that is the real benefit of it. So what you do is you learn through the instruction of the teacher and the adjustments and corrections of the teacher and the use of props to help you find the alignment that you're being instructed in. You learn to find out where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and how to adjust yourself to bring the weaker parts to a stronger place, to make the stiffer parts relax, let go, and become looser. All of those are through alignment instructions. So alignment is crucial to developing that internal sense of physical balance.